Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Motivation and Success Room. Technically, this is the Motivation Room for February. And as you can see, I'm all dressed up. I got my mask on and my Mardi Gras costume wear and my beads because we are celebrating a little bit early. I want to make sure that we get into that festivity. And today we're going to be talking about the motivational message of the month. I do have some guest speakers joining us this evening. One may be listening and one may be joining to speak. We will see. They might both join to speak. But today we're just going to go ahead and get straight into the motivational message. And the question that I asked each speaker to respond to was, can you share one positive message that you feel like someone who's going through a hard time needs to hear? And today, my positive message is incorporated into the concept behind Mardi Gras a little bit. So, for anyone that doesn't know, Mardi Gras is like Fat Tuesday. That's what it means in French. And it's celebrated in more than just Louisiana. Obviously, I'm kind of referring back to the Louisiana style Mardi Gras, but you can always go and look at other parts of the world and see how it's celebrated. Now, the concept behind it is that before Lent, or the Lent, it's more of a Catholic, I think, tradition. But again, I'm not the religion expert. I'm just going based off of what I've known to be. So Lent is like that time of the year when everybody starts to give up and sacrifice things that are of this world. Maybe you stop eating certain foods that are not as healthy, or maybe you stop watching certain TV shows, or you give away something that you've used, that you've relied on, materialistic things. But you go into this space where you're really just fasting. In a sense, you're fasting from something. And so over time, you start to see people in Christianity and Catholicism fast from worldly things, or fast from certain things in their life, to the point where after the fast is over, they no longer go back to it, or the way that they use it is different. And so the concept, again, of Mardi Gras is for us to enjoy ourselves, have a great time, celebrate, have a feast together before we prepare for this Lent. So before we buckle down and really focus in on, letting go of some of those things, right? And the message that I want to leave with people who might be going through something emotional right now is to keep in your mind that this is a temporary obstacle, and do not allow your emotions to trick you into making permanent decisions. And this goes into every aspect of your life, because there are going to be times where you are stressed out, when you feel frustrated, when you feel alone, when you feel like you don't have anybody in your corner, and you're going to want to make a decision based off those emotions. And I want you to be able to say, I'm feeling like this, but that doesn't mean that this is my reality, or that doesn't mean that this has to be my story, my entire story. I want you to lean away from making your obstacles your identity, and lean into making your identity the character and the positivity and the happiness that you possess, no matter what obstacle that you are going through. That is the message that I want to leave with people. So when we say for Mardi Gras, laissez le bon temps rouler, that means let the good times roll. And it is meaning, let's start the celebration. Let's have a great time. And I want you to keep that in mind through the process of going through your obstacles, that the good times are always there. It isn't a one-time thing. It isn't a seasonal thing. The good times are internal. And so when you are going through things, when you are experiencing things that make you feel like you're alone and play into your intrusive thoughts, I challenge you to remember that this is a temporary emotion, and work through what you might be experiencing. Don't allow temporary emotions to make you make permanent decisions, and don't let obstacles become your identity, or your situation, your reality become your identity, because those are two different things. Your reality is your reality. What you experience is what you experience, but your identity is who you are when no one's watching, what you love, what you're about, what presence you bring. That's your identity. So your obstacles are not your identity. Whatever you're going through, that is not your identity. It can be a part of your story, but don't let it be your identity. There's more to you than just obstacles. And that's really important that you know that, so that it translates into everything that you do in your life. Um, we recently had a depression awareness podcast. Hello, thanks for joining. And in this depression awareness podcast, we had businesswomen coming to talk about moments in their life where they really did feel depressed or alone, and it was really hard for them. So I really feel like A lot of people go through this depression where they feel like they're by themselves and they don't have anyone in their corner. And I want to create a space where everybody understands that you are not alone and you're not the only person going through something in your life. So don't let your mind trick you into thinking that you're alone. That is the message that I want to leave with everybody. Okay. We get disheartened. We get sad. We feel lonely. We get angry. We feel disappointed. We feel betrayed. These are things that we go through in our life. Sometimes those emotions, all of your emotions are valid. And remember that everything that you feel is valid feeling, right? Because these are feelings that come across your heart or your mind that you cannot control on the level that you would want to control it on, right? However, in the same breath, you have to remember that these are emotions. These are temporary things. You cannot act off of those emotions. So I've had to learn this even in business. There's been business moments where I've been upset about something or irritated or tired, but instead of me acting off of my emotion, I had to pause, I had to reassess, and then I had to respond like that businesswoman that I know that I am. And by doing that, not only was I able to retain relationships for a very long period of time and develop great business relationships, but I was also able to discover what was really important to me as a business owner and start to let go of some of the things that did not make sense to me in my partnerships and in my own personal business. Then let's look into friendship. Sometimes in friendship, we often want to make our own assumptions. Well, not everybody, but some people want to make their own assumptions. And sometimes they just want to act off of emotion. But you have to remember that people have your best interests at heart. A lot of people do. And so you have to speak to them like they have your best interests at heart. And if you don't, you might risk a chance of not having a great friendship or a great relationship. And so for me, what I've done in the past is like when I get angry with a person or if we're having a disagreement, I don't act immediately off of that. I sit, I think about it for a little while. Some things you will need to communicate with somebody else, but some things you don't. But don't act off that emotion. Even in relationships, don't act off of emotion. We all have emotions, but we have to have the emotional maturity to know that this is an emotion that we're going through and that, this too shall pass. And that is the message that I want to leave with everybody because I don't want you to feel like you're by yourself and I don't want you to feel like you have to give up. I want you to know that there's people out there that support you. Yes, we definitely will. Let me know what state you're based out of. Let me know if you're a business owner or if you're a shopper or both. Are you based in the US? Are you based out of the US? Let us know in the comments. And then also join us in the conversation. I'll be pinning some of the comments to the top of the live just in case. Miss Lindsay and Tony, thank you very much. I wanted to say happy Thursday because I'm so used to streaming on Thursdays, but it's obviously not Thursday. I'm still getting used to this. And in the meantime, I do want to shout out all of my supporters. I appreciate you all. Instagram viewers, Facebook viewers, subscribers, blog readers. Thank you all so much. I told y'all in our last live today, we surpassed 6,500 views for our YouTube channel. This month, we only had 2 days in the month so far. We're already almost past 1,000 views. So just want to put that out there. We're doing a wonderful job. Hopefully by the end of this month, we can get to 7,000 or 8,000. We're working on it. We're working on it. But now that I have shared my message with everybody, I hope that someone out there is able to hear it and resonate with it. The importance of not allowing the temporary to determine the long term, but also the importance of knowing that it's not just about celebrating key moments in your life. It's about every day of your life being a celebration, even when you are going through things. And that's something that I've had to work on myself personally. Like when I'm going through something, when I'm feeling stressed out, when I'm feeling irritated, still remembering that I have to take care of myself, still remembering that it's okay to smile. Give yourself permission to laugh and to smile and be yourself and uplift other people. Give yourself permission to love yourself, even while you're going through adversity. And don't make yourself feel like you have to punish yourself because you're not where you quote unquote should be, or because you are going through obstacles. That is the message I want to resonate with. I want to resonate with people out there that need to hear it. Now that I've shared that, I do want to go ahead and invite our speaker on. We have a few speakers. I will start with MJ. So we'll just bring her to the screen and we'll see what her message is that she wants people to hear who are going through a hard time. Hello, MJ.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
So, how do you feel about that message, MJ? Was there anything that resonated with you?
I feel that the message was very timely because we do always suddenly feel guilty for going through um, something. I feel like people forever um, overly criticize themselves for some of the things that they are dealing with. And I just want to piggyback off of that just a little bit when you said that it's okay to feel. I do also want you to be very mindful of the people that are around you when you are going through.
Yeah.
Um, because most people that are around you are checking out once you are going through something. When you are no longer able to give to them,
Mm.
they check out.
Mm.
Um, and then they come back when you're out of your season and they're back like, "Hey, girl, so remember back when I asked you this?" And
Amen.
I want everybody to be very mindful of the people that are around them when they are going through, because and you got to take inventory of the people that are around you. It doesn't matter if you're in a good point, a great point, a low point, no point. You got to take inventory of the people that are around you. Who picked up the phone and sent a text message? Who picked up the phone and called you? Um, I don't particularly look for anybody to give me no social media. We're here for you because, in all honesty, social media is not going to be the place for you to contact somebody intimately. If you have a person's phone number, call them, text them, FaceTime them. Don't get on Facebook. Don't get on Facebook first and say, "Oh, Sally Sue Walker, we're here for you." Sally Sue didn't
Sally
hear
Sue
from you in
Walker.
the text messages or the phone call.
Sally Sue Walker.
Sally Sue Walker. Okay. Um, Sally Sue Walker didn't hear from you from the cell phone that Sally Sue pays the bill on. She heard from you on Facebook. So on top of you making it very disingenuous, you done put Sally Sue's business out there, and maybe Sally Sue didn't want their business out there. Take inventory of the people that are around you when you are going through, because the people that stick and stay around you are the ones who deserve your time.
Yep.
The ones who peace out when you actually need a friend. I need you to file them away into some sort of category. I don't know what the category would be for each person.
Freeloaders. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the category would be for each person, but for me, they will be filed as blocked. Um, they will be filed as blocked because if you can't now, now in all honesty, this is what I'm also going to caveat. I can't be there for somebody if I don't know they're going through. So
Yep.
maybe that friend doesn't tell you that they're going through because they want to remain strong. Sometimes your strong friends need checking on the most.
Very true. Very true.
Your strong friends need checking on more than you think they do. They just don't always say it. But remember to take inventory of the people that are around you when you are going through. Because the people that are around you when you are going through should be the people that are around you when you are in your great mode, when you are in your great moments. Um, and if they are not, you need to make sure that, hey, you need to acknowledge that during your, they were around when you were down. They need to be around when you're up. Okay. And then
Yep.
you also need to be that person for someone when they are going through. This is not a one-way street. This is a two-way boulevard. You must give what you want. If you're not there for them, they're not going to be there for you. So I don't want anybody who is listening to this live thinking, "Oh, it's just one-sided. I got to be there for them, but they ain't got to be there for me. I didn't say that. What I said was be the person that you want to be. If you want somebody there for you when you're going through, you got to be that person to be there when they're going through. You have to. Because if you're not reciprocating, then guess what? You would be blocked too.
So you said a couple of things, MJ. Oh, but I'm gonna let you finish if you had extra you wanted to add.
You would be blocked too, because like you needed somebody there, they might need somebody there. And sometimes they're not going to vocalize it. Sometimes you got to pay attention to their mannerisms, their mood, their conversation when they're speaking to you. They're not going to flat out and just say, "Oh, I'm going through something right now." You got to pay attention to how they're talking. Listen to the tone in their voice. Look at the way that they're standing, the way that they're sitting, the way that they're interacting with folks. And you got to make sure that, hey, you're not missing these cues. Because if you miss these cues, yeah, you would be that blocked person. So make sure that you were there for that person when they were there for you. It is the law of reciprocity. Gotta do it.
Yeah. I love what you're talking about. And there was something that you said that really I really stuck that resonated with me. And it's just about the concept of people wanting to be there when things are perfect. Sometimes people don't love you, they love what the idea of what you bring to their life or what you could do for them. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they don't even realize that they're that type of person until the actual incident happens where you do need them, where you are going through something. And this is their opportunity to step up and show you,
Right.
hey, I'm here. But instead of stepping up, they step back because now it's not aligning because it's not the picture perfect vision that they had for how you were going to benefit them. So once they're not seeing benefit, it's like, okay, now I don't want to be a part of this program. So I really do love the fact that you gave that advice because anyone who is going through it, you do have to take inventory and you have to keep direct and clear communication with every relationship in your life so that it is set in stone and there is no miscommunication. Don't walk through any relationship with blurriness. That is a rule that I have defined for myself because a lot of people like to walk through your life with blurriness and not express what they're doing there. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these people also like to shame you into feeling like you should not be calculated with your movements or intentional. Intentionalism and being calculated to me is the same thing. It means you're taking inventory of what you have before you move. And I feel that if you are moving to a place of purpose and you have a vision, you should always do that, no matter what it is you're doing. If you are planning on giving back to the community, you should take inventory of what you have and how you're going to do that before you move. You should take inventory of what message you want to send before you move to do it. Calculation
Mm-hmm.
is important and it is not a negative thing. So for me personally, I agree with that. I do think take inventory of who you're around when you are going through it. If there's not people in your corner who support you on the same level that you have supported them or you would support them, then it is time to reassess. And then also, sometimes people need the opportunity to step up or they just need an opportunity to know what it is. And you have to create that clarity. I can't tell you how many relationships in my life that I've had to create that clarity in business, in romance, in friendships. Let's be clear about what this is. Because if I'm that friend that whenever you're needing support and encouragement and, words to uplift you, and then I'm going through something and I can't get some words to uplift me, yeah, we're not doing this no more. If we're in a relationship or a friendship where I can't just release how I'm feeling or vent or just get stuff off my chest, but you're able to come to me and vent about whatever you feel is important in your life, we're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be able to do that. I've had to X out friendships and relationships and business partnerships through direct communication. And you can't be afraid to do that when you are going through a hard time because it's going to make it very clear for other people where you're at. Don't be afraid to tell people that you're going through it. Like MJ said, people can't read your mind. But I've had instances where I had someone tell me, "Oh well, I just don't want to talk about romance with you," and I said, "Oh, okay, no problem. We just won't talk about romance. We, as in we. So don't come to me talking about romance, and don't come to me venting about relationships in your life that you're feeling stressed out about. Because the same way I come and I want to vent to you about something, and I want to be able to go and act off of my own will because I'm a grown woman, but I still would like to have somebody that I could talk to, is the same way you want to have somebody to talk to about the relationships that you have going on in your life. And
Mhm.
whether or not you act off of what I feel you should do, I'm not going to change being your friend. I'm not going to change being that rock for you because at the end of the day, I'm your friend. I'm your supporter. So I'm going to tell you the truth about how I feel about something if you're asking my opinion. And if you're coming to me because you want to vent and I don't, you're not coming to me for my opinion, I'm going to let you vent and get that off your chest. And as long as it doesn't seem like something where this is a toxic relationship where you're going to be harmed, or you're going into something that could damage you physically or something, or mentally or whatever, then I'm going to leave that alone because you're a grown person. But in this situation, this person told me, yeah, we shouldn't talk about relationships. Okay. So I said, okay, no problem. We won't vent about relationships. So the way I come to you, because I be irritated about stuff. You come to me and you be irritated about stuff, keep it to yourself. And when I said that, I mean, I thought we were all good, but clearly the how you doing, what's up, where we going text stopped. So, I wasn't going to chase them. And then we just let that kind of dwindle out. But at the end of the day, the communication of we're not doing this, okay, then our standards of our relationship need to change. And there's nothing wrong with change. Sometimes that is required. And
Mhm.
just a part of life. But you do need to communicate it. You do need to have those standards set. And if you don't know where you guys stand, have the conversation and create the clarity. A lot of people don't have the courage to be straightforward about where they're at, and they know where they're at in their mind. You might have a friend, quote unquote friend. They know where they're at in their mind. They're not planning on supporting. They're not planning on showing up for you or being there for you. But because you have not prompted them to be accountable or had that conversation, they feel like they're going to cruise and they just going to continue to show up to every event and be a part of the celebration, but they're not a part of the love and you going through things. They're not a part of the imperfections of you. And if they're not a part of that, they don't need to be a part of the other stuff. I'm not saying that they're accountable for your emotional growth and stuff, but a friend is a friend. And if a person is not a friend, they're not a friend. And it's just that simple. And everybody is a friend in different ways. We got different levels of friendships, and that's okay. But don't sit here and have one-sided relationships and continue to work through that. So obviously I had to let that go. I had the same thing in romance. You know,
Mhm.
people express that they're interested in you, they want to be with you, or people are flirting, or people want to be in your space, they want you to come over, they want you to visit their home, they want to text you. You want these relationship like qualities from me, but what are we before we go any further?
Right. Right.
Not because I'm expecting you to be everything in my life, because I'm my own person, I'm a grown woman and I can make my own decisions. But if you're gonna be here, you need to be of productivity. We don't do floating.
Mhm.
So, oh, you like the way I look? Okay, great. What is this? Is it just
Listen.
you like the way I look? Because if you like the way I look, I like the way you look too, baby. But what's next? Nothing. Okay, next. That's how
Next.
we do this. We don't have time for games. There needs to be clarity in all areas of your life, because whether you are feeling amazing or you're going through something hard, you need to have those rocks. You deserve to have those rocks because you are rocks for other people. You're their
Mhm.
rock. When they need stuff, when they need you to fill that space, you fill that space and you show up. So why wouldn't you be able to get that in return?
Oh, it's funny that you just said all that because there is a T-shirt design that is in my head right now.
Mm, t-shirts.
T-shirt design in my head and has been in my head for the last couple of hours.
Mm,
Where it's going to say I am either your biggest cheerleader or your biggest op.
uh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Let me explain why I'm saying that. Because just in case somebody comes on the live or the recording later and they hear me talking about ops, wait, why are we talking
Okay,
about
you're talking
ops?
about what? Ops.
Why are
Lord.
we talking about ops? Either I am,
Y'all cracking me up. I'm sorry, I didn't even see these comments in the
it's
back.
like
Y'all got to see
either
the comments
I
on.
am your friend, which means I'm rocking with you, unless you're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you that you're wrong. But that's what a friend does. A friend tells you you're wrong when you're wrong, or I don't talk to you. Ain't no in between. There's too many people around that be straddling the fence. Too many people that be playing both sides of the field, and I don't have
Yeah. Which
time.
pick a side? You inside or
I
outside?
don't have time to play both sides of the field. I don't have time to go talk to you over here and then go talk to you over here. But y'all two don't like. I'm not doing that. So either I am your biggest cheerleader, I'm in your corner, I'm supporting you, I'm reprimanding you when you are wrong, or telling you that you are wrong in a respectful way, or I have nothing to do with you. Because in 2026, my energy requires me to be in a place where I'm not straddling the fence, I'm not playing both sides of it, but it also requires me to be real with the people who want me to be real with them. I'm not giving my energy to somebody who wants a yes man.
Mm-hmm.
You just won't get it from me. I cannot be a yes man. I cannot sit here and watch you go down to Plymouth Rock over here, knowing that this place is not a good place for you to be, and say, "Yeah, girl, you should go over there more often. You know, it'll make you feel." No, you know that place is toxic. I know that place is toxic. So why would I tell you? Yeah, keep going to toxicity.
So about Plymouth Rock is crazy to me.
It was the first thing I thought of. But why would I go over the Why would I allow you to go over the toxicity? And we both know it's toxic. Somebody got to be the one to say, "Hey, no."
And I don't think there's any relationship in your life where you're going, if you have a yes all the time, unless y'all are just always in sync for the most part, there's not going to be many relationships in your life where you're going to always be on the same page or see eye to eye on stuff. So you do have to watch out for relationships like that, because sometimes people are just agreeing with you because they want something from you.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, because you got some people, like I've had people in my life that we just are really in sync on a lot of stuff, but in a lot of situations you are not going to have the same perspective or the same thought process as your friends, and what they need from you or how they support you or what they're looking for, it's going to be different depending on the person. So if you don't get any kind of pushback or any kind of conversation or communication, hey, I feel like this, or hey, I'm going through this, and you don't do X, Y, and Z for me, or just some kind of conversation and dialogue, there might be a chance that they're really just there for the floating. They're there for the riding on that bandwagon to get what they need and to appear as if they are of benefit and support to you, when in reality, I just want to do the minimum. So it doesn't really matter to me anyways if we're on the same page, whether it's something that you're doing towards me or whether it's something that maybe I don't agree with and I'm just pretending like I do. You're going to have some kind of pushback or some kind of disagreements in friendships and in life, and that's going to be okay, because it can be a disagreement or a difference of opinion and not be a toxic argument or disrespectful. But at the end of the day, if you have people who are always yes men in these situations, it might also be a need to change your scenery or change who you're around, because that is also not a good thing to have when you are going through things. When you're going through a hard time, you do need those people that are going to be authentic with you. You need those people in your corner that are not going to lie to you. When you ask them a question, what comes out of their mouth is not what they think you want to hear, but they feel the truth is. And I
Mm-hmm.
say they feel the truth is because everybody has different opinions and everybody's going to approach things differently. So sometimes your friends are going to be spot on, and sometimes you're going to have to find that answer for yourself. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be around people who are withholding what they truly feel and think because they just want to be in your presence or they want to be around you. You need people who are going to be genuine with you. And when you ask a question, you're going to get a direct answer. So
Mm-hmm.
I really do resonate with that part. Um, so the next person that I want to bring on to this conversation is, let's see, Nicole and Nicole. Let me know if you ladies are good to go and ready to be brought on to the conversation. We'd love to hear what is the inspirational. First off, how did you feel about the conversation that we just had? And then secondly, okay, perfect. I'll bring Nicole on. And then secondly, what is the motivational message that you have for people that are going through a hard time right now? So I'm gonna bring on Nicole. And Nicole, did you have anything you wanted to piggyback off of what MJ said?
Yes, ma'am, I sure do.
Mm.
Boundaries, okay? Boundries. Boundaries,
Not her
okay?
spelling.
You might need to spell it again for those in the back.
Not
Spell
her
it again for
spelling
those in the
out.
back.
Oh Lord. Okay, so please expand on that.
So, just in life, in general, right? You have to set those boundaries. Because if you do not set those boundaries with people, places, and things, they won't know how to act accordingly
Girl,
towards your feelings, your thoughts,
at all.
your expressions, anything.
Mm, that's
I'm
word.
listening. I'm also
That's
sending
word.
out promos so people we can get people listening to this message because somebody need to hear this today. Um, but
That's a whole
yes,
word.
boundaries, it is very true. People will not know how to act, and then the other side of it too. I want to make sure that I'm also staying accountability led when I say this part. Like MJ said before, people will not know what your expectations or your needs are until you communicate them. And a lot of times we set the tone for our boundaries. So if your boundary is that you do not work after 6 p.m. and someone calls you after 6 p.m. to start working and you start working, how are they supposed to know that that is your boundary? Even if
Right.
you told them one time, sometimes people forget. We got so many things going on in our brain. So we can't really expect that a person's going to remember every single thing. But when you keep reinforcing them and communicating them respectfully, you will see that the people who care about you will make those changes. And the people who are not listening to you will continue to do the same thing. And that will help you determine what level of access they need to have in your life. So, yes, we do need to set those boundaries and we have to communicate those and be our own advocate. Like, we got to be our own advocate. So, if you said, I don't like to talk about personal things in the business room, and they keep coming back and talking about personal things in the business room, what do we do at that point? We say, hey, I don't talk about personal things in the business room. However, if you'd like to talk about it later, I'm there for you. I'd love to chat with you. You have to keep reminding people. You have to keep having those conversations because if you don't, they're not always going to get it. We got a lot going on in our lives. So some people are not trying to be mean. Some people genuinely forgot, and we just have to understand that there's a better way to effectively communicate. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
that's the first thing that pops up in my brain when you said boundaries. So now that we have talked about that, what is the message that you would like to leave with somebody that might be going through a hard time right now?
Okay, so the message I would like to leave for someone that is going through a difficult time in their lives: reach out for help. And when I say reach out for help, reach out to the people that are closest to you. Just like MJ said, don't be using social media to be a rant in an event space.
Yeah,
Because unfortunately, social media is not a safe space. I'm sorry, it's
at
not.
all.
And I've seen people that I know personally, go on to social media and basically vent how they feel. Like when someone is pissed off at somebody, they're going on Facebook and venting instead of just confronting the person one on one, where it's just the two of y'all having an adult conversation and a mature conversation.
Yep, I agree with that. And then I also feel too accepting where they're at and moving on once you've had that conversation. Because
Oh, exactly.
I've had conversations with people where I've already clearly told you how I feel about something and you're still doing it. So at this point, I just accept that you're just someone that doesn't get it. And I don't expect you to get it. And I don't give you the keys to that room for somebody who needs to get it to be able to walk through. So,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? And that's in
I know what you mean.
every part of life. I've done this in all of my relationships. I've had business relationships where I have expressed something or I stated this is where you do this or this is how you do that. Still not getting it, still not listening to it, still doing your own thing. So I've accepted that at this point, this is where you stay. You don't get the keys to go into the next room because you're just not listening. You're not hearing it. And it's not my job to make you hear it. It's not my job to force the message. This is your own development process that you're going to go through when you feel like it's right and when it makes sense for you. And so you do that at your own pace. And I'm doing my thing in my own pace. But I just know I don't put you in that room because you're not ready for that room or you're not listening to what it takes to be in it. And then relationships, friendships, same thing. You know how many times I've had a conversation with somebody for us to come back to the same thing, and I say, okay, so you just ain't clicking. So at this
Right.
point, I'm not gonna keep clicking it because it's not clicking for you. I'm just going to stop talking about it, and I'm going to stop putting you in that space where I'm expecting that you're going to show up a certain kind of way, because you're showing me how you show up. And whether it be because it's intentional or non intentional, you're showing me how you show up. And I'm going to accept that, and I'm going to move on. And it has helped me in so many instances in business and in personal. So I agree with you, Nicole. Like, direct communication, tell someone how you feel about something, express yourself. And in the same
Right.
breath, when they say, don't worry, I'm coming, MJ. In the same breath, when they say, okay, yeah, and then you go back to the same conversation, and then 5 weeks later you having the same conversation, and then 5 weeks later you having the same conversation. At this point, I'm going to accept that this is who you are, and I'm going to place you in the room that you need to be in based off that. And I've done that in every area of my life. um and that's just where you are now. I'm never going to be the person to say that people can't change, they can't grow, they can't elevate. I'm not going to do that, because we all can grow, we can all elevate. And sometimes we get into this weird thing where we shame other people for not knowing better when we don't know better in other areas of our life. So I want us to break that habit, right? I'm not saying
Right.
you can't grow, but while you're in this space, you're not going to be able to come into these spaces or rooms with me, because you're showing me what you would do. If I tell you I don't feel comfortable talking about my personal stuff with X, Y, and Z, and then I hear them talking about something that only you and I were supposed to talk about, I'm accepting that. And moving forward, we won't be talking about personal stuff. And just like that. Now I know.
Right.
And we
And you
just leave
have
it there.
to, right. And you have to be also, too, you have to be in alignment with people as well.
Amen.
Like, you have to be with people who are aligned with the same aspirations and expectations as you.
Mm-hmm.
If people are not aligned with the person that you are today and the person that you're becoming, listen, wish them the best in life. You can love them from a distance, but wish them the best in life.
Yeah.
I can say from experience, I have people that I haven't spoke to in years, and how I look at a closed chapter may be different from how others look at a closed chapter. For me, my closed chapters is that I'm blocking all access without an announcement.
Yeah. You don't need an announcement.
Without an announcement. And I was just
Yeah.
talking to my best friend about this. Was it Saturday? I told her, I said, because there's a old friend of mine that I no longer deal with. And I literally blocked this girl from, you know, my social media. And I told my best friend, I said, I don't have to explain nothing to nobody. Now, if I ever see her again in life, I'll let her know. Like, listen, no hard feelings. I just wish you the best. The person that I am today is not the person that you align with. You align with the unhealed version of Nicole.
Mm.
You don't align with this version of Nicole. Do you hear me? You
Yes, I
don't.
hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Don't block me. So no, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm receiving
Don't
the
be like
message.
that. Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
I'm over here cracking myself up. Jesus Christ.
Listen, I'm just gonna jump in right here. I do apologize for the interruption, but I'm gonna go back a little bit to what Nicole said about confronting me on social media. That's never a game you want to play with me.
Absolutely not.
And I'm gonna tell you why that's never a game you want to play with me. You play that game with me, you're gonna find yourself over there at the block party.
Mm,
Because before I
Quickly.
entertain you up here on these Facebook streets, when you have my phone number, well, you have some sort of way to get in contact with me personally, but you choose to put it out there on the Facebook streets, I'm gonna choose to block you.
listen,
Okay?
that's not a game you want to play with me, because you're gonna be playing
I'm
by
gonna
yourself.
choose to block you. And the reason why I'm gonna choose to block you is because if I do call your cell phone, you're not gonna want to hear what I got to say. You're not gonna want to hear none of it. But when I block you, please know that is all access. Access denied. Access revoked. We're through. We're through. Because this same energy you putting out on Facebook so that your Facebook friends can be your yes men, you could have had this conversation with me in private, but because you chose to go the public route, I'm gonna block you publicly. Go run tell that.
I can't. No, I definitely hear what you're saying. For me, when it comes to like aligning and realigning with people, you know, that's something that, like Nicole said, sometimes you just have to let things go when they don't make sense. And another thing too is you have to, I would say, allow yourself the space to decide what you're wanting out of every relationship in your life. Because when you decide that, you don't necessarily spend too much time ruminating on what you're not getting, because you know exactly where this person stands with you, and they're right where they need to be. They're right where they need to be, and that's just what it is for me. And Charlie said, when people tell you who they are, believe them, and I agree. I
Oh,
think that
yes.
when they put the action
Ooh,
out there,
child.
there's a box. Everybody has a box, and this is my mindset that I've had in life, that I've adopted, and it has helped me in a lot of relationships. I have a box. I'm not gonna label these boxes. I ain't gonna put it out here. I ain't gonna say everything. I'm just gonna say there's different boxes in my closet. Okay. When I meet a person, I take what they're saying and then I pay attention to what they're doing and I place them in the box that matches their actions. They will keep talking. They will keep, doing whatever it is they do. But if their actions match that box, that's where they stay, in that box. If their actions are different from the box that they're in, then they go into a different box. That's just how I am. And by doing that, I have created a life for me where I don't give people access. I don't give people the time that they don't deserve, that their actions haven't shown they earned or that they appreciate. I just let it be. Let them be who they are. And by doing that, and you tell people there's no wrong answer in life, you let them just be who they are, because they're going to tell you when they're comfortable, when they feel safe. They're going to show you what is important to them. And when they do, you put them in that box and you just let them chill in that box. Wave at the box, hey, and just let them chill in there. And they just stay in the box that they're supposed to be in. That's how I handle it. But for anyone out there who might be going through things, I just want to remind you that you have your own way of doing things based off of what makes sense for you, your healing and your journey. Something may not make sense for you. So it's also important to practice discernment, because some of these tips will resonate with you and some of them may not. And you have to use your better judgment. Don't place yourself in any physical or emotional harmful situations. Learn how to let people talk and just let them do that. Let them talk. Let them run. Just let it go. And when their actions show you that you should be taking something serious, like, oh, wow, you're actually here, you're actually showing up, you're actually stepping up, that's when you put them in that box. If you want to. Now, you do what works for you. But I just think that the message that Nicole talked about, which is setting boundaries, does resonate, because when you're going through things, if you don't set boundaries, people will just take and take and take and take. And then the message that MJ talked about, which is making sure you're around people who are authentic, that is important as well. And also making sure that you're around people who actually want to support you, because you got some people that just want to be there when everything is going good. And then when things aren't going good, they're nowhere in sight to be found. Or the energy that you have for them, they're not matching that energy. So, that's another thing that I feel as well.
Right.
So now that we kind of talked a little bit about that, let's go ahead and move to Nicole. Let me know in the comments if you are ready, and I will bring you on so you can come and share what you feel on this topic. But I feel like we talked about a few things. At the end of the day, the message that I'm hearing boils down to having a strong support system and having boundaries so that you are not overextending yourself. Did I miss anything? Did anybody else want to add something else in that? Listen, y'all, I'm hungry. I'm craving some banana nut bread and some crawfish. Just a random thought. Let me see. Let me know. Drop in the comments. We'll start with Miss Nicole, unless I have somebody else that's ready to go on and share their message. Let me know. All right. We're gonna go ahead and bring on Nicole. Hello, Nicole.
Hello, hello.
So let's get into your perspective on this. Did you want to piggyback off of anything that was said first, and then talk to us about the message that you have for people that might be going through a hard time?
Um, Everybody had an absolutely phenomenal way of putting it out there. So I think everything that I probably was gonna say tonight has been put out there, pretty much. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna roll on over to the inspirational side of somebody that's going through something difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to go back to the original thing. Let's pick up our faith, because so many times the lack of faith that we have in ourselves is the breaking point that we have with succeeding or not succeeding. And I say that because a lot of the times we lose faith in ourselves because something didn't go right. We lose faith in ourselves because it didn't look like you wanted it to look. We get discouraged because somebody came and told you, "Oh, I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't deal with you. I don't think your business is going to be successful."
Yeah.
So we take it and run with it. We don't have to, because if you have faith that what you have is given to you by God, and He is giving you the opportunity to live out what it is that He wants you to do, then we have no reason to doubt ourselves. We have no reason to doubt the people that He's putting in position for to help us succeed. What we have to do is stop leaning on the people that's putting all the negativity in our ear. Because every time they plant a negative seed and
Mm-hmm.
you allow that seed to stay there, it's going to grow. And eventually it's going to outgrow the positive seed if you're not getting any planted. So in this season, and I'm sure a lot of people have been paying attention to me over the last couple of months. In this season, I am not the Vicky that I used to be. So they're gonna have to get used to Lacole, because Vicky is not gonna tolerate it. Vicky is not dealing with it. Vicky is not going through it. So if you know me as Vicky and you know the person that I used to be, then I'm gonna need you to just check on out, get you
Oh.
another library card, and
Oh.
check in again, because I am not that person anymore. And I'm gonna need the people that feel like they're not good enough, that feel like they cannot succeed. I'm gonna need you to put down that library card that you have, that debit card that you have, that credit card that you have, or whatever it is that's pulling you down. Set it down, leave it there, go get you a new one, and continue to be the great person that you are. Because in this season, in this year, we will succeed. We will accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. And you will not have to sit in the negativity ever again unless you want to. Because no has become a good friend of mine, and I like it. And I will continue to keep it in my pocket. So that's all I have.
I was not ready for that last part, and I like it. I'm about to start muting myself because y'all be having me laughing in this background. But no, I resonate with the message that you're sharing, Nicole. It's a new season. You have to put yourself in the place where you decide you are not willing to accept certain things. You are not willing to take in any negativity. You have some feedback from Charlie. She said, faith of a mustard seed is stronger. She said, don't listen to the ants. Any negative thoughts? MJ talking about not the library card. Yes, I hear you, Nicole. I think that a lot of times we do forget how important it is to feed our brains the right positivity and to be around the right people. If you are not around people who encourage you, uplift you, empower you, challenge you, sometimes they don't have the capacity to do it. Sometimes you got to get around people that have the capacity to challenge you. Okay, do you hear that? You got to get around people who have the capacity to challenge you to be better, to challenge you and uplift you. Because if you're not around the right people, you can find yourself in the same space or worse by the end of the year. You know, they always had that saying of look at the 5 people around you because that's where you'll be in the next 5 years. That's what your income is going to reflect. And the people that you spend time around is who you become. So you need to make sure that there's somebody in your life that's motivating you in some kind of way. And if there's no way that they're motivating you or inspiring you or pouring into you on a positive light, that relationship, it might be one of those that you just have to put them in that box and let them stay in that box. Because for me personally, I have people around me that motivate me, drive me, or push me, or inspire me in some way or another. If you're trying to get better about doing things faster, get around people who are fast paced. If you're trying to get better about your communication, get around people who are communicative. If you're trying to get better about your professionalism, you need to be in rooms with people that are professional. If you're trying to get better about your personality, get around people who are confident. If you're trying to get better about your emotional intelligence and the way that you speak to people, get around people who have that level of intelligence and speak to people in a certain light. You just have to be around people who are challenging you to be better. The goal is not to be the same exact person, unless you're someone that just wants to be the same exact person. But for me, and anyone who can relate to me, the goal is to grow and elevate and get better. It's not to lean on our flaws and quote unquote call them personality traits. Oh, this just me. That's just how I am. I don't want to be that. Because once you start doing that, you start making behaviors that aren't necessarily productive your identity, and you're putting yourself in a box and you're labeling that this is what you are. There's more to you, and you can be more than one thing. And you should get around people who challenge you to elevate your perspective and your approach and your delivery in all areas of your life. And it doesn't mean that you're going to do every single thing that they do, but it means they're going to inspire you in some sort of way to elevate and get better. So that part really resonated with me, Nicole. Let's go ahead and bring on Leslie. I want to see what she has to say about this topic at hand. Hello, hello, Leslie.
Hola, ladies. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I
Good.
did want to ask you, how do you feel? So, like, is there anything that you wanted to piggyback off of?
Oh no. I need to make sure my library card is straight though. So I don't want to start going off on it.
Okay, Nicole, she about to she kicking everybody out the building. You have to go
Right.
get books. You have to get a new book bag. Everything. Your subscription has changed. You're overdue. Talk about get a new library card and swipe that one. Okay, so Leslie, for you, what is one message, one motivational message that you want someone to hear who might be going through something right now?
Oh, I'm gonna talk about myself, you guys, because a
Okay.
lot of people mistake that because you are in business that you automatically be sitting on money. And
Mm,
a lot of people don't know where you started, where you at, how you got there, what you did to get to where you are.
yeah.
And as a person, I'm not gonna lie, stuff happens crazy. I'm almost done paying off my car, right? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people can relate to this. So I was like, okay, I've been saving up money. I don't help my son. And sometimes we help our children, and sometimes we forget about ourselves and put other things to the side. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, let me work on catching up, everything. So I called the people. Now and I don't mind telling my business like this because it can help somebody. Everybody goes through.
Yeah.
I paid $1,300 on my car note. And I was like, okay, I'll just make the couple other payments, car be paid off. But
Mm-hmm.
because it reached the maturity date, I got to pay it within 7 days. I was about to
Mm-hmm.
have a mental breakdown, but I was like, no, I can get this together. It's just another $3,000. I don't want to ask my mom, but I'll figure it out. or whatever. So I was like, at first I was about to have a mental breakdown. Then I was like, I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I said, it's a reason things are happening. When you get ready to be free of things and open up more money so you can be able to do more things, it actually things just come at the wrong time. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm gonna call my mom. Everything worked out, but sometimes we don't know everything happens for a reason. Because we set things, you're supposed to do things, and just because you look like you have it together doesn't mean you always have it together. And sometimes we do go through things, and we have to stop portraying that like we got this life, like nothing goes wrong. People go through things,
Yeah.
and y'all know me. I'll share my story. I've told y'all I've lost it all before. So never think just because, and I'm not saying you ladies, but a lot of people be in positions and they think just because you have an LLC that you automatically arrogant, you above everybody, but everybody can fall.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying this to say that no matter what happens, never let anything get to you because of who you are. Everything will always work out. I had to take a mental break from my job. They were getting on my nerves. I was like, dang, not 2026. I said, I came into 2026 planning to be on a whole nother level. And it's like, nah, stuff was trying to make me quit and just give up on a lot of things that I was doing. But I said, nope, I don't came too far. I don't spend too much money. I got stuff I'm about to own. You ain't finna do this, devil. No, you're not finna do this. You're not finna do this. So I was like, with this little hurdle right, this was like, at first I was thinking of it as like a major hurdle, but I was like, nope, because I'm finna jump over that and get it back right. Because it kind of hindered me. I was like, dang, I had stuff that I had to do to take care of with my business consultant. And I was like, then this came up. And I was like, nah, man, this ain't even happening. Something's trying to prevent me from getting where I need to be. And I don't know what it is, but it's something big that is about to happen because everything is happening back to back. But I just say, stay inspired, stay around people that are encourage you, motivate you, be real with you, and never let anybody think that you don't go through anything. We all go through things, whether it's financial, whether it's personal, whether it's relationship, friendships, we all go through something. So
Yeah.
just stay motivated and like Katan said, Nicole said, that library card ain't right, you got to go. And if you're around people that 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 need to throw away their library card and get away from you, let them go. Like you said, if they ain't speaking positivity, they ain't trying to do what you're doing, they ain't on the same level, let them go. Because people will make you lose everything when they're not trying to achieve anything.
Yes. Yes,
And that's
they
all I
will.
have to say.
And it's all I have to say. What that song say? One, two,
Two,
three.
three, release
Release
them.
'em.
Release them all.
I wish that I could take a journey to this library card. And, but no, I 100% understand where you're coming from, Leslie. I think that we wear this cape of superwoman a lot of times. I think that I want to combine Leslie's message with Nicole's message, which was Nicole was talking about sharing what you're going through. MJ talked about all these messages come together, in my opinion. MJ talked about the importance of speaking up, using your voice. You got to tell people that you're feeling a certain way. You have to express how you're feeling about things with your friends, your family. You got to let them know you're going through things because even though we can watch you, we can't read your mind. And just like you're going through something, to be honest, the next person might be going through something too. I've had friends that I didn't know that they were going through things, and I can't guess. I can't read your mind. I can check in on you and say, hey, how are you? But if you don't tell me how you're actually doing, I can't always read your mind. Sometimes I can hear it in the tone of their voice, but that is not my job. And I'm not going to put that on me. You know why? Because historically, we have this habit of putting this cape on, and we can't always do that. We have our own things we have to take care of. I'm going to do the best I can to read, but in the same breath, you have to speak up and tell people that you are going through stuff because just like you're going through something, the next person is going through something. It doesn't stop someone else from going through something. I've had days where I've had family members that I love and care about going through medical conditionings, going through strokes, ending up in the hospital, going to the emergency room. I am going through things all the time. So I need you to tell me when you're going through something. Don't feel like you have to be a hardened shell with the people you care about. But in the same message that Nicole said, make sure you're doing this in a safe space. Know who to be safe with and who not to, and know when your mind is playing tricks on you, when you should give into your thoughts and when you should not give into your thoughts, because intrusive thoughts, depression, anxiety tells us that we cannot trust anyone. It tells us that nobody is here for us. It tells us that we are alone. But when you look at people's actions, if they have shown you time and time again that they are in your corner, if they have consistently poured into you, if they have consistently sent people to support you, if they have consistently tried to place you in rooms to help you elevate, if they are consistently promoting your business or your dreams or telling you to go for yours, this is someone who is showing you through their actions that they are someone that's in your corner. They may not be there for every part of your corner, but they are in one part of your corner, whether that's your personal life, your romantic life, your business life, whatever corner they're in it. And they've shown you that. So don't let your intrusive thoughts trick you into thinking you're alone. Speak up and let people know that you need that help. But then, like Nicole said, make sure that you know it's a safe space. Safe space is based off of actions. If I look at someone and their actions are showing me something, I know what each person in my life, what kind of space they provide for different things. I just know that off the top of my head. I know that if I'm going through something personally, intimately, romantically, I can call this specific friend because she's going to create a safe space where I can talk about what I'm going through. I don't feel like I'm being judged. I don't feel like she's trying to project her thoughts or her opinions onto me. I know that this is a safe space. Okay. I have a business safe space where I can call my mentor, call a close friend and say, hey, um, I'm just feeling like X, Y, and Z. Now, I haven't had to do that as much in these past couple of years because my mindset has changed. But if I need to, I know who provides that safe space. If I need a safe space to share something that's going on in someone else's life who needs support and has given me permission to do that, I know where I can go to these safe spaces to get that support. So find your safe space and take off your cape every now and then, because even Superwoman or Superman is not Superwoman or Superman 24/7 of the day. They take their cape off. And you have to make sure people know that you're human, because we can't allow people to start having unhealthy habits and relying on you. Oh, looks like you had some comments. So somebody said that part, Leslie. And then let's see. Right, this is my library. MJ said, right, is my library card active? And then Charlie Shop said, I'm not your superwoman. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, at the end of the day, you can't be everybody's superwoman or superman. You have to know that you are human, and it is okay to be human. And sometimes we put on these unrealistic capes and then break ourselves down in the process. And I even talked about this in our last motivation room. There's nothing wrong with wanting to help people, support people, pour into people. Every woman that's on this live tonight has supported, helped, poured into so many individuals in their own ways, and that I've seen behind the scenes that other people don't even know about, and that I've seen publicly. But at the end of the day, it is extremely important that you pour into yourself, because if you do not take care of yourself, these people that you are trying to help, you cannot help them. You cannot help them. And this message is so important because there is a level of toxicity in being of service to your demise. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to express when we need help. We have to put that out there. Put the conversation out there. Because if you have someone who cares about you, they are going to say, okay, I hear you. And they're going to do what they can to support you. They may not be able to do everything, because everybody can't be everything to you sometimes, and that's okay. But they may put forth something to contribute to your mental and physical health. And that is important. We got to be honest with ourselves and transparent. Did anyone else want to leave a positive message or any other message on this live, something that popped up in your head, or piggyback off of anyone else? Let me know, ladies. Nicole, MJ, Nicole, Leslie. Did everybody get get out what they needed to say? In the meantime, let me prep this screen. MJ said all hearts and minds are clear. Okay, good, 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 good. Wonderful to hear. Nicole, did you have something you wanted to say?
Let me see. Let me think if I have anything else to say. So far, the only thing I can say is just piggyback off of if you're going through something, if you're going through a difficult time to the point where it's detrimental to your mental, your physical, and emotional health, seek a professional therapist.
Mm, yep. It's okay to ask for help.
Because sometimes family don't have all the answers, because you got to remember a lot of times when it comes to family trauma, some of that trauma is passed down to the children.
Yeah. They're seeing through a lens of what they've experienced versus all of the reality of the situation. And then you also have to understand too that sometimes people subconsciously project their own insecurities onto you. Therefore, when they're having conversations, they're not speaking from a unbiased place. They're speaking from their fears, their insecurities, their worries. And although sometimes they're always valid, everyone's opinion and experience and emotions, you're valid to have that experience and those opinions and those emotions. However, does not always mean that everybody needs to act off of their insecurities or their worries or their fears. Sometimes you have to go down your own path. And so it's important to find someone who is unbiased, who understands more to the situation about who you are and as well as what everything is going around. Like you can't always rely on friends and family for certain things. That's not everybody, but it's a lot,
Right.
you know? So,
Right. It's just like with my healing journey. You understand what I'm saying? I know my family, I know my family, loves me genuinely, right? But
mhm.
at the end of the day, my family, they know the unhealed version of me.
Yeah.
They're just now getting to know the healed version of me, and that's because the distance between us. When I say distance, I'm talking about where we reside at.
Yeah.
Like where my family resides in and where I reside at is in a completely different city, different county. So most of my healing journey was here where I currently live now and where I've been living here 16 years.
Mm,
And
that's
that's
a
that's how long it's been since I've actually lived with family. 16 years. Yep.
wow.
Maybe a little longer than that.
And you've
So
seen growth in your overall journey, like your mental health, your business and stuff like that.
yes, yep.
Yeah.
Because I started my healing journey in 2021. And yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. And I think that's a really great point too. Thanks for that note. Sometimes distance is required and sometimes it's needed for people to really just sit down and think. Because some people, not all people, I can only speak for my experience, but depending on who you're dealing with when it comes to family,
Right.
people do not receive things the way that you're intending for them to receive them because
Right.
they're only hearing one thing. So when you're
Right.
saying, I need some space or I need some time to think about it, what do you mean you need space? You can't just talk about it now? Like sometimes with family, because they know you, they tend to want to push harder. And that's not always what is needed in that situation. We
Right.
make the mistake of assuming that we know what a person needs simply because we've been around them for a long time. Yes,
Right.
sometimes you can assume and you can guess and ask, but it's really important that we don't jump to that conclusion all the time. And it's hard not to do that when you're dealing with family or when you're dealing
Right.
with people that you've known for a long time. So you
Right.
see them and you see the version of them that you know, not the version that they're trying to be or what they're changing into.
Exactly. And that's the one thing I will say with my family is that they have noticed the changes
Hmm. With the
in my
time, with the distance.
with the time and just with myself. If you're following me on social media, especially Facebook, you may see, my aunt or my uncle, they're either sharing something that they are proud of, or, just I guess what's the word I want to use? Just inspiring me, showing me love and support.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. That's good. I'm happy to hear that though for you. Like it makes me
Thank
happy to hear
you.
stories like that. We do need that healing. We need that safe space where we can just go away and think, because when you sit by yourself, sometimes it allows you to realize where, hey, maybe I was right to feel this way, or maybe I was right to feel this way, but I was wrong to respond this way. And there's a different way to do things. Like you just get self-reflection altogether when you
Right,
take that time. And you can't always get it when a person is smothering you and pressing you to give them a response that you haven't even figured out for yourself yet.
right.
So I do appreciate
That's
sharing that.
right, right. Because that's one thing I could say. My family has already always respected my space. They've always respected my space, and you know, again, I feel like growing up, I feel like my family, they was trying to protect me
Hmm.
from the things that was going on in the world, especially in the environment that I grew up in.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I grew up in an environment where it was violence and drugs and, all of those things.
Mhm.
So I feel like they just wanted what was best for me.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Sometimes we we do the best that we can with what we have, and our job as the second generation, third generation, newer generation coming in is to say, hey, where can I pick up where we left off, and what can I add to this? How can I help grow? How can we heal? How can we break cycles? So we're doing what we're supposed to do, you're doing what you're supposed to do. So kudos to you. I love to hear that growth, and I know that you'll continue that through your family, whether it be with cousins or, spouse or whoever. You're going to continue that cycle of growth and healing. So I'm glad to.
Yes.
Kudos to
Thank you
everyone.
so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm loving the fact that we have all had different experiences and we're all able to share something unique about what we have gone through. So, hearing you talk about the importance of boundaries and space, hearing Nicole talk about the importance of letting people know that you're just not in that same space anymore by your actions, hearing MJ talk about the importance of speaking up and communicating when you're feeling low, but also challenging people to be better friends and pay attention. Not to say you need to read their mind, but pay attention to your friends, be attentive. um, let's see, Leslie talking about the importance of not putting on that cape all the time. You don't have to be Superwoman or Superman all the time. It's okay to be human. It's okay. Um, so thank you all so much, ladies. What I'm going to do is go ahead and prepare to um, end this live. And anyone who wants to stay on the chat and talk after the room has ended, you can do that because we have about 30 more minutes. We're going to get into our success room and our motivation room for the night. I do have some business tips and insight. So anyone that would like to come and be a speaker for our room, the link is attached to the video. You can come and be a speaker and talk about your experience. Come and share a motivational message that's on your heart, or even come and share the topic at hand. Today, we were talking about giving words of encouragement to people who might be going through a hard time. So, to sum up the entire video, I would say find the right support, learn to be okay with speaking up and saying that you need help. Learn to be okay with admitting that you're human to yourself or to whoever you feel you need to. I don't want to prompt anyone to make them feel like you have to share everything that you're going through, because you don't. Because in all reality, in my opinion, it's not anybody's business. You choose to share what you want to share with people, and they should support you because they know your character regardless. You shouldn't have to be, on the floor begging for help for someone to say, hey, is there anything I can do for you, if you've been supportive to them. Unfortunately, sometimes people don't prompt themselves, but I do agree with Leslie when she says that it's okay to not be perfect. It is okay to not have everything going the way that you expect it's going to go, keeping a positive mindset through that process. So that's the other tip that resonated with me from her message. Also, MJ talking about the importance of speaking up, but also paying attention to the people that are around you. Don't have people around you who are not contributing to your growth, your positivity, your elevation, because if that's the case, they don't need to be there. They don't belong here. If they're not bringing something positive, inspiring, and uplifting to your life, there's no space and there's no room. And I want to end on my message, which was, do not allow your emotions, your temporary emotions, to lead you into making permanent decisions just because you're listening to your intrusive thoughts. I want to challenge you that when you're going through something and you feel alone and you feel depressed and you feel beat up and you feel like there's nobody there for you, to remember that these are normal emotions that the human will experience when you are going through stuff. It's human to experience this. However, do not let that be your story. Don't let those emotions that are temporary turn into your permanent story. Don't let obstacles that you are going through turn into your identity. So, hey, maybe you got injured and you're no longer able to do physical things that you enjoy doing. That is going to be a part of the things that you experience in life, but it is not your identity. That injury does not define your identity and who you are. What defines your identity, as I talked about earlier, is your character and your integrity. How you treat people when no one is watching and when they are watching is what defines your identity. And you can continue to grow and elevate your character and your identity as long as you remember this too shall pass. So I want to leave that with anyone that might be going through something. Please hang on, keep going, keep working, because you will get to the destination if you don't stop. And if you focus on living in your purpose, you will already be at the destination, because it isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey that it takes to get there. So don't let people, things, obstacles, situations take your light simply because it's an inconvenience to you. Keep that light and keep that happiness, and give yourself permission to laugh and to smile and be positive even when you're going through the hardships, and give yourself permission to cry and vent and release when you're going through the hardships. You're human. You deserve that. It's normal and it's healthy. Find your outlets, find your safe spaces, get your help, determine what type of help you need, whether it's a professional therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever it is for you that makes sense after you've done your research. But just know that you are not alone and there is support out there for you. I hope that this message hits somebody who might be going through a rough time or feeling like they're alone. I encourage you to reach out to our communities. Although this space is a platform that we utilize for our business owners to come and inspire, we do have other platforms and communities that are $0. For example, we have a networking community. You can go and network with like-minded individuals if you need support. We have a Facebook community. It's called the Motivation and Success Room. You can come in and listen to positive and inspiring messages from our speakers. You are not alone. Remember that. You're not the only person going through something. Remember that. It's okay to voice that you're going through something. Remember that. And most importantly, it is okay to say no. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay not to provide an explanation. Every response does not require an explanation, and every boundary that you set does not require an explanation. And it is also okay to communicate and do things based off of what makes sense for your life. So I want to leave that with everybody, leave you with that confidence, that positivity, that support, and that love. And just know that you are doing the best that you can with what you have. Keep going, keep working, keep growing. Thank you guys so much for watching the Motivation Room. I'm going to go ahead and end this now because we're using the remaining time of this hour to discuss business insight and to talk one-on-one off live about things that we might be going through in our lives and just vent and laugh as business women. So thank you again. And if you want to join us for both of those sessions, you can go click on that link and you can come be a part of the Motivation and Success Room. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.